Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, welcome to Mad Creative Life. My name is Madeline, or Maddie for short, and if you are returning, then welcome back. I feel like this is starting to become a regular thing on my channel where I am just talking in my car, and I think a big part of that is because I spend a lot of time driving to and from places. I've done a lot of road trips in my life, and if you guys want to check out some of those videos that I have from my past, you can check out my playlist Hybrid Home when I used to live in my Prius. I'm not living in a car anymore, but I do still have a lot of what I call car thoughts, or just ideas that come to me when I'm driving, and oftentimes it's some of the only real alone time I get to have. So a lot of times I feel like it's a really good use of time to talk in my car because it's a quiet, confined space. It's time when I'm alone with my thoughts, and it's time when I can really get some clarity on what I want to share with you guys. I keep a note in my phone for different ideas that come to me about videos I can make, and I actually have this bullet pointed twice on my note, and it's talking about manifestation, or manifestation. I've been putting off talking about manifestation for a really long time, and the reason is I am somebody that I feel like a lot of what I have asked from the universe has actually come true for me, and I feel like there's a lot more that is still in the process, and I haven't fully received all the results of some of my bigger dreams, I guess. And part of that is because what I'm asking for is specific, and I'll get into why that can take a little longer in a second. And it's also pretty big. I feel like I am somebody that is a big dreamer, and so because of this, it takes more time for bigger dreams to come true because there's a lot more steps in between. Okay, also I apologize in advance if I keep looking back and forth. It's because I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So I've been putting off talking about manifestation because, one, I don't feel like I have received all of the results of what I'm trying to manifest in my life yet. But another reason for that is, one, my dreams are big. Two, I am still in the process of my life. So of course, I haven't received all of the manifestations that I'm working on for my life because I'm only 25 and turning 26 soon. So there's that whole reason. But also, I feel like, am I really the most qualified person to talk about manifestation? Maybe not the most, for sure. Definitely not the most. But I feel like I have made some pretty almost impossible things come true before. And I feel like I do have some experience about what it takes to manifest. And I'm also somebody that personally really works on, excuse me, I got an itchy nose. I feel like I am somebody that works on fine-tuning, and that's why a lot of my manifestations become more specific. So yeah, that's just a little bit of background on me and things like that, but I feel like I should make this video. Okay, so to start, manifestation, I have read a lot of books on it. I have listened to a lot of, really famous speakers, gurus, coaches, leaders, psychologists, universal experts, if you will. And I have learned a lot about manifestation and all the rainbow parts of it, and also a lot of the shadow work about manifestation, which means dealing with the subconscious mind and learning how to sort of consciously overpower and override the subconscious mind enough that you can start to believe you're going to get things, so you can actually get things and receive things in your life. So I've read a lot of books, listened to a lot of speakers, learned from a lot of teachers, and one of the most important things that I've learned is it's good to get mentors. And this is the fun part. A mentor can literally be anyone. A mentor could be your parents, it could be your boss, it could be a friend of yours, it could be somebody younger than you, it could be somebody older than you. A mentor can be anybody in your life that has something that you really want to cultivate for yourself, and your job is to be 100% a student. So if you really want something that somebody else has to offer, and they have achieved the physical manifestation of what you are seeking, whether that is health and happiness, and this person is 90+% healthy and happy in their life, as best they can being a human being, or somebody with a really large, beautiful home and estate with land, somebody that has your dream job, somebody that gets to travel the world, all of these different things that you could possibly want, somebody that has a beautiful family or has just the most adorable dogs, or someone who has your dream wardrobe. So the mentor you are seeking is the person that has the physical manifestation of what you are trying to receive in your life. So the cool thing is you don't have to pay hundreds or even thousands of dollars for a mentor. You can, and there are lots of benefits from paying for a mentor. If you pay for a mentor, one, you are investing, or as my dad says, putting skin in the game, which means you are putting something up front, showing that you are committed to learning this information, or you are committed to going through this process, right? So paying for a mentor also means you are paying a specialist, somebody that has really fine-tuned and developed and worked on themselves enough to make this like their primary thing that they can help you with, more than just a normal person that is not a coach or a specialist of some sort.
While I was editing this video, I noticed that I had left out a really crucial thing about mentors that I just wanted to mention briefly. When you invest in a mentor, you are also paying for their energy. The energy of that person is incredibly important because we are all unique and have a unique frequency and a unique energy. Some people are better at manifesting things faster, at manifesting more of something, at manifesting more clarity of what you want. So it's really important to keep in mind that when you choose to invest in a mentor, you are paying for that person's time and energy, which will help you manifest even better.
So one thing I learned is that having a mentor is really important, somebody to look up to, somebody to learn from, somebody to show you what they're doing is right and how to help fine-tune yourself, your thoughts in your own life to help put yourself in alignment to receive more of what you're wanting. So that's one step. The second step is kind of going along with the first one. How much of a student are you? How open to learning new information are you? And even more important than learning the information, how open to change are you? So you could be reading or watching and learning all this stuff, but if you don't actually implement these changes into your life and change things you're doing in order to become more of the person you need to be in order to receive certain manifestations and transformations in your life, then it's basically going in one ear and out the other if you're not implementing that into action. Basically sacrifice bad habits and change them into good habits and build new thought processes, new ways of thinking and feeling about things, going and doing different things that you've done before in order to get a different result. So being open-minded to learning and being really open to change is super important. Another key thing that I've learned about manifestation is there's basically 3 categories of ways that you can manifest in your life. They all have varying degrees of success, and you can implement them at different points in time or implement them for different situations depending on what it calls for. So the first step for this is you can be specific and ask the universe specifically what you want. Getting down to, if you want like a certain car or something, getting down to the model of the car, the brand of the car, the year of the car, the color of the car, the size, the interior, the features of the car. You can be really specific, the price range of the car. That is a really specific way to manifest. And the best way to do that is you go online, you look up pictures of what you want, and you really visualize it. You dream about this car all day. You're putting out the frequency of this car, right? Whatever car you're trying to manifest in great detail. And that can help you manifest a specific thing. The second way is to be general. So it's the opposite of the first way. Instead of writing this whole list of everything that you need or want or desire in this specific car, for example, right? You can say, I just want a brand new car. I want it to be spacious enough to carry a surfboard or to carry camping gear, or I want it to be fuel efficient or something like that. You could just say, I want a car that's brand new, I love driving it, and it has enough space for everything I need. I don't care what color it is, I don't care about this, blah, blah, blah. I don't care what brand. I really want a brand new car, and I want it to have like these few specifications. Maybe, I just want it to be big enough, fuel efficient enough, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, I just really want a brand new car. So that's being general. That's the second way. The third way is to be not specific at all and only go on a feeling. So if you want to be really feeling based, you could say, I just want a car that makes me feel great and is reliable and makes me feel safe. That's it. That's your only specification. Or you could be even more general and say, I just want to feel like I can always get where I need to go without any problems ever. I just want to always feel like I am supported and stable. I always want to feel like travel is never going to be a problem for me, right? You might be asking yourself, yourself, what is the best way? Which way do I use? You might think specific, right? You want to be as specific as possible. That's actually wrong. It's not wrong, but it's not the most effective way, and here's why. When you are really specific and you're asking for something with certain specification, you are asking for what you think is going to make you happy. And maybe it is the specific car you're asking for, the specific model, year, color, etc. Or maybe it's not. Maybe you think that's the car you want and you think it's going to make you happy, but really there's another car out there that is like so much better for you. You know, for a million reasons. It could be a better price. It could be a car that actually fits your lifestyle more. It could be a car that has less liability. It could be so much better for your life than the specific car you're trying to manifest. So there's that. So you think, okay, maybe general is the best. Well, that's actually the second best way. It's not the actual best way either. Again, for the same reasons as the specific reason, number one. You could be thinking that getting this brand new car is going to make you feel so much better and it's going to solve all your transportation issues. And maybe it's not. The absolute best way to manifest is, if you haven't guessed it already, number three, go by a feeling. You might be still trying to manifest a car, but the most important thing about this process is nothing in life really matters that much unless you feel good about it, unless you feel happy, secure, content, excited, joyful. Nothing in life is really gonna ever make anything else better unless it makes you feel good. That's kind of the point. People want to feel good. People want to enjoy their life. So the absolute best way to manifest is to go on a feeling, and it's to follow your feeling, and it's to think thoughts that make you feel really good. And that could be any feeling. It doesn't have to be happy. That might not be your ideal feeling. Your ideal feeling may be to feel safe and secure. Your ideal feeling might be to have a feeling of accomplishment and success. Your ideal feeling might be calm, peaceful, and content. Whatever your ideal feeling is, focus on thoughts that help you to feel that way as much of the time as you possibly can. And then you will notice how the universe starts putting people, situations, and things in your life that start aligning with that. And the more you're able to do this, the more your life is going to feel like that more often. And that's the fun part. Now, that's basically all you need to know, like, about anything manifestation related. That's like the basic synopsis. There is something I also want to include in this, and it's about the subconscious mind, and it's about the shadow side. But before I talk about that, there's one more step that is really important to understand that I almost forgot to mention. And it's, there are two sides of a spectrum. There is thoughts and actions. And you might think in order to manifest the best way, you want to focus on your thoughts and you also want to focus on your actions, and you want to try to balance that. And you want to try to do actions that are in alignment with your thoughts. And I'm sorry to break it to you, that's not true. You could work for 16 hours a day doing what you think you have to do in order to be rich or happy or successful, and it could amount to very little. You could go to a job for 16 hours a day and get a paycheck and get enough money to pay rent and pay bills. You can do that. There's nobody stopping you. You can do that. But I will tell you right now, it is 99% your thoughts. Your brain is a lot more powerful than you realize. Your brain is way more powerful than any action you could do. Actions are impactful. Actions can make changes. Actions are important. However, your thinking and your thoughts are infinitely more important. And it's because anytime you think a thought or send it out, you are sending a transmission. You are sending out to the universe and to other people and things around you a frequency that falls somewhere in the general spectrum of, yes, I like this is neutral to me, or no, I don't like this. So you're putting out a frequency that's falling into a category like that based on things and circumstances and people that are in your vicinity or thoughts that you're thinking. It's more important to focus on the thoughts, because your thoughts, every time you think a thought, you are actually causing a chain reaction that creates an emotion. And then when you are feeling, when you put that emotional energy with a thought, it creates a very powerful frequency. I'll give you an example. You could think about $1 million. I'm thinking about $1 million. I'm thinking about $1 million. I'm thinking about $1 million. And you could put out a thought thinking about $1 million. And if you start to feel bad, I'm never going to get $1 million. Oh my God. Can you imagine how hard I have to work to get $1 million? There's no way I'm going to get $1 million. If you're putting out all that stress and that fear and that disbelief and that doubt attached to the thought of $1 million, guess what? It's true. You're never going to get $1 million. But if you put that same thought You didn't even change the thought at all. The thought is the same. I'm thinking of $1 million. I'm thinking of $1 million. But you attach that thought with an emotion of, oh my gosh, can you imagine what my life would look like with $1 million? Can you imagine what my life would be like if I made $1 million every year? Oh, my life would be so great. I'd be able to travel. I'd have a big house. I'd be able to comfortably pay my bills. I'd be able to treat my friends and buy gifts for people all the time. I'd be able to have so much free time to do what I love. I would enjoy the work that I'm doing in order to receive $1 million a year. I'd have so many more options in my life. I would feel very supported financially. I feel excited and joyful that I never have to look at my bank account and feel nervous. I look at my bank account and feel joy. I never feel stressed about money. I feel so grateful, so happy to receive this $1 million. If you put that frequency out with that thought that is still the same as the thought in the example before, you are going to get an entirely different result. Now, this can be applied to anything. That was just an example. This can be applied to relationships if you're trying to manifest your dream partner. This can be applied to a dream house, to a dream car. This can be applied to a dream job. This can be applied to, even generally speaking, just experiences that make you feel elated and happy and joyful and surprised. Those are some of my favorites when I'm like, oh my gosh, I just met somebody that I didn't even know existed, and this person just lights my heart on fire, and this person just makes me feel so excited, and this person makes me joyful. I could talk for hours with this person. I just love this person. All of these things, like, those are some of my favorite things to manifest, is meeting new people that just excite me, or having experiences where I'm like, oh my goodness, who would I could have never imagined it, but it's the feeling that I'm getting, and it's the same as the feeling I've been transmitting. So that's a really important thing to keep in mind, is thoughts are what you should be focusing on. Any action you do, make sure you enjoy it. It doesn't matter what it is. You can be brushing your teeth, even. Doesn't matter. That's one of my favorite examples, brushing teeth. Yeah, so any action you're doing, make sure you enjoy it. And really quickly, I just want to address the subconscious mind. When you're trying to focus and manifest on something in your life, there are certain universal laws at play that allow that to come to pass. So you send out a frequency to the universe. I really, really want this thing. I'm really desiring this. I would love for this to happen. I'm so grateful. Please deliver this. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. You put out that frequency and you will get something, right? It is possible to manifest a life in a situation where you feel good most of the time. It is. Regardless of how much money you have, regardless of the things you have or the people you have in your life, regardless of whatever work you are doing, it is possible to feel good most of the time, no matter what your situation is in life. I'm a big believer in that, because I had times in my life where I had next to nothing and I was just so excited and thrilled every day. And then I've also had times in my life where I've had a lot of stuff, right? And I was very stagnant and depressed. And it doesn't mean that that's going to happen every time. It's just, again, about how you think about it and how it makes you feel. So it is impossible to only manifest positive things all the time. And the reason is there is a law of attraction, like attracts like, but there's both sides of that. So you as a person are a whole person. This is something I believe, and this is something that has been reflected to me in my life before, and so many times, all the time actually. So I know this is definitely a force that acts in my life and the lives of others. I've noticed this. You are a whole person. You have a spectrum within you of energy that consists of both darker, negative energy and positive, lighter energy. Now everybody is so unique and special because we are all calibrated to different balancing degrees of this. Some people are just so sunny and so have this beautiful bright side. It's so sweet. Other people, you know, their kindness is moderate, it's humble, it's quaint, and there's no right way to be. But I will say, whatever force your light side is, you have an equal and opposite counter force of darkness. So we tend to jump back and forth between these, and sometimes people go about life and they don't really notice this or recognize this. I didn't for a long time growing up, and then once I started to understand more about like life and energy and things like that, I started to recognize and notice these patterns. So think about the saying, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. Something like that. It's people that shine a lot of positive energy, you may notice, tend to attract a variety of people in their life. And the reason for this is sometimes they attract people that are kind of like them, that shine really brightly, right? And that's when like attracts like. So there are similar attractions there. But you may notice people that also shine very positively and brightly, they also tend to attract a negative counterforce. So they might attract people in their life that are like the opposite of them. And there's no right or wrong way to be. I just want to say that right now. Everybody is beautiful and exactly who they're supposed to be. And the older I get in life, the more I have realized how true that is. Nobody is built wrong. Nobody is supposed to be all light and sunshiny all the time. In fact, the more you get in touch with those two sides of yourself, both your shadow side and your light side, the more you actually know what you're asking for from the universe. And this is cool because when you receive if you're asking for something and the universe gives it to you, but you're like, let's say for example, you're manifesting $1 million and you're like, well, I got the $1 million, but I didn't realize I'd get it in this form, or I didn't realize that, this would come along with the $1 million, right? Well, that's because you put out the frequency that attracted the $1 million to you in that form. And I know this because I did an experiment for at least a couple years where I was doing this and I was trying to manifest something specific, and I kept getting it, but not in the form I expected. It was in a form that I didn't really want, but I was still attracting what I was asking for. So be aware of this. Be aware of any subconscious thoughts in the back of your head that could be sending a equal and opposite energy for what you're asking for and what you think you want. And also become friends with your negative side or your darker side or your shadow side, because you'll find the more you accept it and love that part of yourself, the more you're actually getting a full picture of life and also what or who you are trying to manifest into your life. And as a final note, I just want to mention, just be yourself. Be yourself, because the more you are living in alignment with who you truly are and being really honest with yourself, the more that life is going to feel very natural for you. You're going to naturally attract the people and things that you need in order to be happy if you're just honest with yourself. Don't try to make your frequency match somebody else's if that's not who you are. Don't try to go for something you think you should have based on what, a person or society says that you should have. Just be yourself. Just be yourself, because you're going to naturally, and we are doing this all the time anyway, we're always emitting frequencies, right? Whether we want to or not, it's just how it is. We're always emitting a frequency as long as we exist. So the more that you just learn about yourself and learn to accept and love yourself, the more you're just going to naturally attract what you're supposed to attract and what you want to attract anyway. So I just wanted to finish off this video by saying, be yourself, have fun with your manifestations, make sure that they are in alignment with yourself. And it's not always about having the bigger, shinier things. Sometimes it's about just living for life and loving life and just feeling the best you can, no matter where you are or what experience is brought to you or who you're with. It's just about really enjoying and learning and growing and just, making the best of what the life gives you, because we really are all truly blessed. I do believe that. I believe every person is blessed in some way or another. We all have something to be grateful for, and that's part of what makes this life so amazing and exciting and beautiful and mysterious, because there's always new mysteries unfolding and always new opportunities coming to us, and every breath that we get to take is an opportunity that we get to grow and think new thoughts, feel new feelings, and just really evolve into the best versions of ourselves. So thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've been really wanting to make this video for a long time, and I just thought, you know what, just make the video, because I've already manifested enough things in my life that I was really, really proud of that seemed seemingly impossible to get. If you want to stay up to date with all my new content, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon, which will notify you of all my new uploads. And I'm trying to upload a lot more regularly again, so bear with me on that. Definitely feel free to give this video a like, share this video, and until next time, thank you guys so much. Namaste and stay grounded. Okay, we're gonna start again. Waiting for the card to pass. And one more. The mentor that you are seeking is somebody that has the physical manifest. The mentor. Oh, I've been sitting on my knees because I'm too short for this stand right here. I will wait for these cards to pass.